All right, in college algebra today we will be going to our homework system and doing the first homework assignment. So we'll start with Google Chrome. Again, Google Chrome is the recommended web browser for this software. And we'll search for Florida Gateway College. Click on this link. Go to My Courses. And click on your particular section for college algebra. And I'm going to go to MyLab and Mastering. So let's go to MyLab and Mastering. Okay, so we click this yellow button. We get a user agreement, so you can kind of read through that. Accept. And then you might, if you've never used Pearson before, you might have to create an account. Email address can be anything you actually check. It does not have to be your school account. Confirm it, pick a username, and then your password. So I just had a student this morning who forgot their password and then they had to try to sign in again and they didn't know it. So write it down, or find a way to record it somehow so you have it. And then first, last, country, role, pretty self-explanatory. Create. But I want to actually go in and sign in. So let's sign in here. Now that, assuming you've had that, username, password. Now there's three ways to get access for this. An access code, which is a pretty long digit code. And you can get this through the bookstore or anywhere else that sells access codes for this. Now you have to be real careful because the access codes are tied to a specific book. So if you were to try to get this from like Amazon or something, you would have to have the exact book that we're using, including the edition. So the safest way is to just go to the bookstore. Use my last name, Toby, and say MAC1105 or bookstore online, and you can buy it that way, and then there's no question it'll work. But it's also a little tricky with them. So they sell it through a third party called Brightwave. So in your receipt from the bookstore, at the very bottom, there will be a website for Brightwave and then a pin. So you have to go to Brightwave, redeem an access code, will be in the top right, and then you type in the pin on your receipt, and then that will generate this long code for the Pearson product. So it's a little trickier, but that's how you do it. Or you can purchase access with a credit card or PayPal right here. And for this course, it's not longer than 18 weeks, so this price right here would work fine. Or this option down here, you can get a 14-day free trial, and then you just pay later. So if you click this and you get I'm not going to click yes because I don't want to add a new student to my course. But if you were to click that, it would get you that free access for 2 weeks. And here's the beauty: if you decide to stay in the course and you want to pay for this, if you decide to stay in the course, you need to pay for this. Once you do, you'll get an access code, and we can go in and just convert your free account to the paid account, and all your work will be saved. You will not lose any work if you do the 14-day free trial. Okay, so then once you're in, we would go, eventually you'll get to a point where you can open up the website, and then we can start at the home page. And here's what it looks like. So I'm not going to have a lot of things for here that you need to worry about. I mean, there are lots of things here that you can do. There's an e-text, so you can go in here and look at the chapters and look at the sections. You can do practice problems and things like that that won't hurt your grade. They won't help it, though. So let's go where we want to spend most of our time. Where we want to spend most of our time in this is in assignments. So I'm going to click on this, and you should only see one. It's called Orientation. And I'm going to click on that. I might caution you, too, that there might have been a pop-up that occurred up here, a red X. You might have to click that and always allow pop-ups for this website. It didn't show up for me because I've already accepted that previously. Okay, so if we come in here, I'm going to maximize this. So question 1, I've already completed it, so I'm going to click similar question down here so I can complete it again. So basically these questions, there's only 12 of them. You just read them and do what it says. So this talks about the study plan and things like that. So it says click continue for the next step. So continue. It says that you have this answer box here. Now notice when I click in this answer box, these options on the bottom showed up. And I can click more and get even more options. These are for when you have to type mathematical expressions. So you have equal sign, and you can use fractions. Here's square root. Here's pi symbol, infinity symbol. And there will be problems where we need to use these sorts of things. But for now, let's just go back to less. So this is what it defaults to. But this is a simple problem. It just says type 1 in the box. So I type a 1, and I go check answer. Nice work. Okay, then it talks about extra things at the bottom that can help you. So if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a help me solve this button. Now this help me solve this button will solve the problem you're working on, but it won't give you credit for it because it's basically doing the work for you. So you can use that to see how to solve your problem, but again, it's not going to give you credit. So here's one I like. It's view an example. So if you're working a problem, view an example will produce a similar problem with different numbers, and then it will show you step by step how to solve the problem. So then you just apply that same process with your numbers and you should get it correct. Then there's get more help, and I encourage you to use this. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can move this. Get more help, ask my instructor. I recommend use it. If you click this, it will generate an email to me. So right there, and you can just type in here whatever your question is. I tried 17 and got it wrong. Help, please. It could be as simple as that. So if you kind of give me what you've tried in a short sentence or two and maybe where you're stuck, I can reply back and let you know some strategies to get it right. Okay, so that's more help. So we've talked about that. So hit continue. Okay, now it says click this link to see the answer. The answer is 3. So I'm going to type 3 in this box. Check the answer. Excellent. Okay, now this is a good stopping point. It shows a check mark, a green check mark on the top, and it shows a green check mark over here. So you don't want to click similar question. So if you click similar question, it will refresh the problem and you'll have to do it again. Now that can be useful. If you get a problem wrong, or maybe part of a problem wrong, like the middle part wrong but the first and last part right, and you say, I want to get it all right, you'll hit similar question and you can go back and do the problem. Now this is set up so you can do these problems as many times as you want. Okay, so you can take infinite tries to get it right, doesn't matter. But as soon as you get it right, as soon as you see that green check mark, don't hit similar question. You are done. So just move on. So the way to move on is either click question 2 over here or click this right arrow button up here. So I'm going to go to question 2. Now since I already played around with this, I'm going to hit similar question. It says pick the one where it's a smiley face. So clearly B is the correct answer. Check it. Got it right. So the green check mark showed up. So now we move on to question 3. Okay, it says select the checkbox for each correct choice to fill it in. So 1 times 1 is 1, so that's true. 2 minus 2 is 0, it's not 1, so I'm not going to check that. 1 plus 2 is not 2, so I'm not going to check that. 1 plus 1 is 2, so I'm going to check that. And any number times 1 is itself, so that E is also correct. Nice work. Get the green check mark, and I hit the next question. So notice I have 25% complete. You should be able to get this done in maybe 15-20 minutes. You should be able to get 100%. Not too, shouldn't be too difficult for you. So it's going to kind of teach you how the different problems occur with drop downs and fill-ins, and it'll have you do some graphing and things like that. And I'm hoping it'll be a program that shouldn't be too hard for you to use, and hopefully you'll get familiar with it. If you do have any questions, please reach out to me. And that's it for what we want you to accomplish today.